Hello and welcome to ET Studios. I am Arpit Gupta, Assistant Editor, ET Government, The Economic Times. Joining me are two very special guests, one from the government of Uttar Pradesh and other from the government of Uttarakhand. Please welcome Mr. Ranveer Prasad, who is the Managing Director of UP Power Transmission Corporation Limited and UP Power Generation Company Limited. I have also been joined by Ms. Radhika Jha, who is the Secretary, Rural Development, Government of Uttarakhand. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
As we are discussing the digital transformation strategy of governments and PSUs, so what has been your mandate for UPPTCL and Power Generation Company Limited for digital transformation in the coming days?
See, there are many things to talk about as far as digital transformation is concerned in two organizations. But I will name a few. In both the organizations, we have switched to ERP end-to-end in all our functioning. So that has smoothened a lot of things. We have bill tracking system, which is online for vendors, because we are doing several thousand crores projects. So that increases our efficiency. Then for system stability, we have thousands of kilometers of these transmission lines. And there are a lot of outages due to like bird heat and other issues. So what we have done, we have implemented an online patrolling software. So all our vendors, whenever they patrol these transmission lines, they post their photographs with comments, and that way we have managed to reduce trippings due to that. We are now moving forward to full automation of substations. So we are preparing a report, project report for SAS, the fully automated substations, so that we can operate them remotely. We have also state-of-the-art state load dispatch center, which is one of the best in the country as well as very renowned in the world. So our SCADA system is going to be world class. We are moving into a new system, digital system, where all our metering, all our load dispatch as well as scheduling will be fully through algorithms and online. So transmission we have done. In generation, we are implementing AI solutions to understand the operation of our plants and ensure that we learn from the data and ensure that there are fewer trippings.
Ms. Radhika, you have also spent quite good time in center as well as state in the energy departments. What has been your experience, if you can highlight some of your projects where digital first strategy was adopted?
Yes, thank you so much, Arpit, for organizing this interesting conversation. Very importantly, when you talk of digital transformation, I think what, of course, he was also mentioning was the whole move towards ERP, the whole move towards SCADA system, and the training of personnel, because in state government especially, if you want to implement any technology, any e-initiative well, we need training to happen simultaneously. So the building up of the manpower. So while I was in the Power Finance Corporation, we were instrumental in financing, monitoring SCADA systems all over the country. We started the toll-free number 112, which is the toll-free number for all electricity-related complaints all across call centers in India. So that was a very big initiative in ensuring transparency and grievance redressal relating to electricity. Coming back to the state, when I got back to the state, we of course focused on doing the ERP in the generation company. Of course, SCADA in generation and transmission both. What I, of course, wondered was that there was a missing link since I was chairperson to all the three corporations. So we managed to do that. And Uttarakhand has got an annual plan which says every year what we would achieve. Because we know that technical emergence and harnessing will take a long time. But we have set goals and we are achieving them consistently and focusing on training of manpower.
As you are saying that there have been these initiatives, I hope the data generation have been huge over the past few years in both UP and Uttarakhand. So if I talk about, as you are also saying, there are some AI tools which are being deployed. How wisely can be emerging technology be used for the transformation of these departments and also increasing the efficiency and transparency in the department?
Yeah.
See, as you as you said, we have huge data as far as like operation of power plants. So it cannot be processed manually. So there has to be AI tools, and as she pointed out, but lot of it depends on the training of our personnel who are not trained in technology. So we are trying to address this challenge of adopting new tools as well as training our manpower.
Training of manpowers, when we talk about this topic, so one thing that strikes my mind is cybersecurity. So while we are using data, while we are adopting technology, so cybersecurity becomes very important. So how has been your experience of training your employees for cybersecurity, and how did you create capacity building among your employees for the new age technology?
Yes, interesting. So, Arpit, what we have done is that if you remember, Home Ministry had issued some years back detailed circular of how to have a CISO in every organization, how to train them, institutionalize that. So, Government of Uttarakhand did that across departments, not just our PSUs, but across all departments. But they weren't really effective. So there was a close group of secretaries which was made in Uttarakhand, which said in terms of monitoring all of this. So in terms of cyber frauds and all, which increased over the last 5 to 6 years. So in Uttarakhand Police, we have got a special dedicated force. I'm sure UP also has something similar, which runs this across departments. So we have been doing that, but in terms of awareness, we are now doing it through our higher education department as well to reach to the students, because we believe that if the youth is trained well to handle these frauds, it would really come of age. And we have hired 2, 3 very good consulting firms to help us do that across departments.
What has been some of the challenges in adopting technologies, especially in UPPTCL and power generation company?
See, cybersecurity, I will just add on that. See, cybersecurity is also a technical issue, as well as it's also a governance issue, because you have to implement protocols. You have design protocols, but you have to implement them. So, like load dispatch is a very sensitive and it should not be prone to cyber hacks. So, what we have done, we have physically separated layers. SCADA layer is not visible on internet, and it exports data and then it comes on the internet. Similarly, we have implemented firewalls on our hardware as well as software portion. So cyber security we are taking up. But again, the coming to your question of this, how hard it is to implement. See, we do not have, very surprisingly, we do not have many vendors who have these solutions for this niche sector. So they have general commodity software, but not the software which is useful in power sector. So we are now on many of our hardware, legacy hardware, it's very difficult to address, get the PLC, etc. Of the previous vendors. So now we are talking to vendors so that their capabilities can be developed. So it's more with the vendors now rather than organizations who have funds, who have desire to implement IT solutions, but do not find sufficient vendors.
You agree with Mr. Ranveer, what he's saying?
I actually agree with him, because when the intent is there, finances are there, but vendors, and I also agree with one thing, that vendors are not able to provide us an integrated, sustainable solution. So when there are presentations, we see a lot of promise. But when it comes to implementation, I think we still need a lot of professional manpower in this sector to develop. And I'm sure conferences like this could help, nudge everyone towards that issue.
So before we wrap up this conversation, I have one more interesting topic to discuss with both of you, because both states are laying a lot of emphasis on renewable energy and green energy. Going forward, what is the ambitious plan of UP government in renewable energy sector?
UP is the government of India targets. UP will meet all the targets. It is on track. Like in transmission, I will tell you, we are implementing Green Energy Corridor second to evacuate 4,000 megawatt of solar power, which will be installed in Bundelkhand area. So that is next year we shall be commissioning that. So and then NEDA is the nodal agency for renewable energy, is developing solar parks, where a lot of vendors have expressed interest to set up solar power plants. But as I said in my speech that we have to also focus on storage, because solar power will give you power only during the daytime, and we have to need power during the peak time in the evenings. So for that we are developing storage. We are buying pump storage plant capacities through tariff, as well as we are planning to develop our Rihand dam system into a pump storage plant system. For that, we are preparing feasibility report.
I would like to take one last comment from Ms. Radhika Jha because she also has a rich experience of green energy and her initiatives have, been popular among the bureaucratic corridors across country. So can you highlight some of those initiatives and what is the future plan?
No, thank you so much. But Uttarakhand, of course, believes in democratization of green initiatives. So whereas we are a small state, we can't really do solar parks because we have limited land and because it's more of a hilly state. So what we have done is every initiative, whether it is reaching solar to young entrepreneurs, to the household, to the institutions, state government has offered 30 to 35% subsidy, even without any government of India support. When COVID happened, we offered subsidy to everyone who came back. So all the returnee immigrants were offered 30-35 subsidy, and we initiated something called solar farming. So all the barren highlands, we gave them 35% subsidy to set up small solar plants, and we provided grid till that point, because the whole challenge of decentralized solar is reaching of the grid, especially in difficult terrain. So we've already done more than 350 megawatts of solar by these small decentralized plants, which has helped us achieve our RPO targets better, and of course greening and CO2 abatement, employment as well. So every 1 megawatt actually provides employment to 7 to 8 people. So we have generated employment in the hills because of that. And another interesting initiative was to develop power from pine needles. So pine needles has, if you all have seen forest fires, which happen across hills in a lot of states. So we had our women self-help group collect pine needles, gave them a very good amount for it, and started decentralized power generation from these pine needles to reduce forest fires, to do employment, and of course, a form of decentralized power. So we are trying to push that a little forward. And of course, like Sir was mentioning, PSP, of course, is something which we are doing in Tehri. We would be very ambitious in that. So hydro, we are focusing. And because our big hydro projects were stalled on account of environmental issues and the issue of the holy river Ganges, so we are focusing on small hydro, micro and mini hydro, which are run by communities. So our whole idea is to take green initiatives to the community. And I think Uttarakhand will surely be one of the pioneering green states in times to come.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Mr. Ranveer Prasad and Ms. Radhika Jha. And we actually went through the journey of Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, how they are adopting technologies to transform energy sector, and what are the opportunities for private sector in energy and renewable energy sector. Thank you so much.